Your child's name isn't just a label. It's a declaration over their life. It's a prayer spoken every single time someone calls them. And if you get it wrong, you're setting them up for a lifetime of carrying weight they didn't choose. Today, I'm showing you 5 types of names you should never give your child, not to judge parents who did, but to protect the ones still deciding. Names carry power. This isn't mystical, it's biblical. Proverbs 22 verses 1 says, "A good name is more desirable than great riches." That's not random. That's a parent's responsibility. When you name your child, you're not just being creative. You're setting the foundation for how they see themselves, how others see them, and how they move through the world. Some names build that foundation on solid ground, others don't. Let's talk about which ones you need to avoid. The first type, names that literally mean curse, darkness, destruction, or evil. This sounds obvious, but parents get caught up in how a name sounds and miss what it means. "It sounds cool," they say. "I like the way it flows." But your child doesn't just hear how it sounds, they learn what it means. And then they carry that meaning into adulthood. Every time someone asks, "What does your name mean?" they're saying it aloud. They're declaring it over themselves. In Genesis, God changed Abram's name to Abraham because a name represents destiny. He changed Sarai to Sarah, Simon to Peter, Saul to Paul. God understood that your name shapes your identity and your calling. Your child's name should point toward life, not toward darkness. If you're researching a name, look up the meaning. Really look it up. Check multiple sources. Look at the etymology. Look at what it meant in ancient languages. If it means curse, sorrow, death, or destruction, choose something else. That's not being closed-minded. That's being protective. Your child's identity shouldn't start with a shadow. It should start with a blessing. The second type, names that are set up for playground cruelty. This is where parents get creative in ways that hurt. Names that rhyme with body parts. Names that sound like curse words. Names that invite jokes. Your child doesn't think that's funny. They think they're the problem. They spend their entire childhood explaining their name, defending it, wishing it was different. That's not creativity. That's burden disguised as originality. Kids are cruel. They will mock. And a name that invites mockery becomes a wound. Psalm 139 verses 14 says, "I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made." A child with a mocked name doesn't feel wonderfully made. They feel like a joke. When you're choosing a name, ask yourself, can this be turned into mockery? If yes, keep searching. The third type, names that are so difficult no one can say them correctly. I'm not talking about cultural or ethnic names. Those are beautiful and valid. I'm talking about invented spellings designed to be unique, but are functionally impossible. Your child will spend their entire life correcting people. It's not Brittany, it's Brightony. You say it like this, not that way. Every time they introduce themselves, they're already frustrated. That's not standing out. That's being set apart in the wrong way. Isaiah 43 verses 1 says, "I have called you by name, you are mine." But if no one can say the name, how does that work? Your child should be able to introduce themselves without a 5-minute explanation. Uniqueness doesn't come from an impossible name. It comes from who they become. The fourth type, names that are loaded with expectations no child can meet. Names like perfect, winner, destiny, or blessed. You think you're setting them up for success. Actually, you're setting them up for failure. Because one day they'll make a mistake. They'll fail at something. They'll disappoint someone. And they'll hear their name and feel like they've violated their own identity. I'm called Destiny, but I feel lost. I'm called perfect, but I'm deeply flawed. That's not empowering. That's a pressure that breaks people. Proverbs 29 verses 25 says, "Fear of man will prove to be a snare." When your name is a burden of expectation, you spend your life trying to live up to it. You never just get to be human. Choose a name that lets your child grow into their own identity, not run from their name. The fifth type, names that carry other people's pain. Naming your child after a deceased parent who was abusive. Naming them after an ex-partner you're still bitter about. Naming them after a celebrity or figure you're obsessed with. Your child becomes a container for your unhealed wounds. They carry weight they didn't create. "I'm named after my father" becomes, "I'm expected to replace my father," or "I'm expected to heal my mother's grief." That's not a name, that's a burden. 2 Corinthians 5 verses 17 says, "If anyone is in Christ, the new creation has come." Your child deserves to be their own new creation, not a resurrection of someone else's story. If you're naming them to honor a person, make sure it's honoring, not haunting. So what should you actually do? First, choose a name that has positive meaning. Research it. Know what it means in every language, especially if it's multicultural. Second, say it out loud 100 times. Would you want to hear this for a lifetime? Does it feel like it belongs to your child specifically, or does it feel like you're imposing your creativity on them? Third, imagine them at different ages. Does this name work for a toddler, a teenager, and an adult professional? Some names are cute at age 5 and embarrassing at age 25. Fourth, ask trusted people if there are jokes or meanings you're missing. Sometimes you're too close to your own idea to see it. Fifth, pray about it. Ask God what name is meant for this child. Sometimes the best names aren't the most creative. They're the ones that feel right because they are right. Here's what convicts me about this. Every person carrying a name they hate spent their childhood wishing for a different one. They spent years of identity formation undermined by the very thing that was supposed to define them. And most of the time, the parent had good intentions. They were trying to be unique or meaningful. But the road to a child's burden is paved with parental intentions. Your child's name should be a gift, not a lifetime of explanation. It should be a foundation they can build on, not a weight they have to carry. If you haven't named your child yet, this is your chance to choose wisely. Take your time, research thoroughly, pray sincerely. A name is the first and most lasting gift you give. Don't rush it. Don't make it about you. Make it about who your child will become. Ask yourself, will this name serve them well for an entire lifetime? Will it be a source of pride or a source of shame? Will they thank me for this name or resent me for it? And if you've already named your child something you're second guessing, stop the regret. Your child is not defined by their name alone. They're defined by your love, your presence, and your commitment. The name is just the introduction. You are the foundation. You are what matters most in their life, not the letters in their name. But since you have the power to choose that name wisely, choose it with intention and care. Comment below. What's the worst name you've ever heard given to a child, and why did it stand out to you? Like and subscribe for a video like this. Say this with your children. Your name is a blessing, and you carry it well. God bless you.